Make your voice count. The people's voice. Make your voice count.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs the voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. Discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse.
All right, it's a beautiful Monday to talk football. So much happening, exciting with the football. The weekend presented us a lot of interesting gifts for the quadruple chasers. We all know the story. 1 down, 3 more to go. Let's see how that pans out for the Gunners as far as that one is concerned. Of course, you can see me sporting blue, the exact look-alike color Man City was sporting when they picked up their trophy this weekend, talking about the Carabao Cup. Let's see how that pans out. If they will add the FA Cup to it, I'll be looking forward to putting on this blue t-shirt once again. And on that note, I say welcome back to the locker room on Voice of the People Television. I am Jerry Apeliohai, and today it's all about the big games and even bigger discussions because it promises to be exciting, from the Carabao Cup down to talking about the NFF versus FIFA situation. It was NFF versus DR Congo's Football Federation, but somehow stories are beginning to pop up as to reasons why the NFF has become a show of shame in terms of administration, has become a rather further much or difficult situation for those who are supposed to be manning the administration of Nigerian football. And definitely, I will not be doing the show alone. I have a Fizz who joins me today. And I know how he was smiling over the weekend. I don't know whether the smiles continue, but all the way from Algeria, he's here with us. It's great to have you. But I saw all the way from Wembley now. I think he left Algeria for Wembley Stadium.
Yeah. The coverage was not that good at the end of the day. But of course, it was all Arsenal hype going into that game, and I was one of the people saying, at least let's tread this with caution. It's Manchester City, for crying out loud. You don't just write off Manchester City. They are coached by Pep Guardiola, arguably the greatest coach ever. A lot of people put him in that discussion. And at the end of the day, he eventually won the Carabao Cup, and that's his 40th career trophy, which is very, very good for the man. Yeah, the weekend served us a lot of football. Manchester United up against Bournemouth, always promising goals. 2-2 that one ended. Chelsea as well, also in the Premier League. It was Beto.
3-0.
It was Beto.
Beto night.
Business with 2 goals. And what's even...
Beto made sure that maybe he played over 1.5. He had to make sure that 1.5 came up.
Aside the banter, Jerry, there was something beautiful I saw from the Everton-Chelsea game when Senegalese winger Iliman Ndiaye he scored.
Fantastic goal.
Beautiful goal. And also the evergreen midfielder Idrissa Gana Gueye, when they came up to celebrate Ndiaye's goal and saying, we don't have 1 AFCON, we have 2. They showed that to the world that, and he still said it after the game that they are African champions. And of course, I'm sure that is echoing what the whole Africa is saying.
Morocco is rejecting the trophy.
Moroccan
players.
A lot of people are condemning. It is one on the pitch now, Jerry. It is one on the pitch. It is one on the pitch. So you can't just come and announce, this word online and say we are the one winning the trophy. Why didn't we win it on that particular day? That's a decision that will never sit well with me for the rest of my life. That is CAF. That is so embarrassing on CAF's side. The people that you are giving the trophy now, their players are rejecting it. So it's just so embarrassing. They shouldn't have made that decision at all. Show of shame from CAF. And also, we saw other games. The El Derby, we saw that one between Real Madrid and Atletico.
Demola Lookman scoring was the highlight for me.
Beautiful goal. He was almost started the move, and he finished it with a beautiful goal. But for me, the goal on the night was Atletico Madrid's right back, Nahuel Molina. That was a fantastic strike.
Masterclass. From the top drawer.
Beautiful. And we saw Vinicius Jr. always stepping up.
I don't know what. I think there's something Abello is telling Vini this time.
He is performing. He's actually performing under Abello.
Yeah,
and I think it's because Kylian Mbappe is not even around.
Even
when Mbappe was around, you could see that he's doing his bit, assisting the man. And when Mbappe was not around, stepped up to score the important goals. And a lot of people were surprised that was Vinicius Junior's first set of goals against Atletico Madrid in La Liga. He has never scored against Atletico Madrid.
That's a personal beef with him.
You remember,
the racial abuse last season.
The banner, the racial abuse and all of that. And now he has gotten 2 goals against them.
Pound of flesh.
Brilliant from Real Madrid.
2 pounds of flesh.
But of course, Barcelona, they are still the ones still topping La Liga.
I think just 1 point.
Yeah, they won 1-0.
I think it's 4 points.
It's about 4 points. Yeah. 4 points. And they won 1-0 also as well.
It was really scary for Barca.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good. Bundesliga as well. It's looking like it's going Bayern's way. They won.
Is it looking like
No, other teams like Dortmund are still trying to bring up something.
They were still struggling over the weekend.
Yeah,
they played
3-2.
They lost 3-2 at home.
No, they won
3-2.
Yeah, they were down,
okay.
But
I didn't really see the end.
They won that game. Huh?
They eventually came back and won.
They won. 2 penalties scored by Rami Bensebaini. They won that game. It was good football, but of course, the main one was the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah,
Arsenal
we'll get to that. Don't worry. Let's leave that in the cooler so that
was
let it still be hot.
So
let it be fresh, because that's the high point.
Yeah,
For those
I know.
who want to know. All right, we're still expecting Maiwa to join us to explain to us what happened against Bournemouth. I don't know. Maybe no.
You also know you have some explanations.
Yeah,
you have some
more explanation. It's already a culture.
You have some explanation.
It's a culture now. I think it's a culture. Listen to Brighton away is a culture. It's no longer news. Any weekend that Liverpool wins, you like, oh wow, maybe they did something different this time. But if they lose, it's expected. This season they've been on the losing trajectory. It's been giveaway period.
Well, Liverpool is just like up and down.
Yeah.
How can you explain?
I would have want to give excuse for Ekitike early injury.
Yeah.
Talking about the exemption of Salah and not being in the squad
Yeah.
due to the fact that they want him not to play in the international
In the
break.
international
It was just
period.
an excuse
Yeah.
to make him look injured.
But
It all
at the
backfired.
expense of the team, it really backfired.
And the constant use of Gakpo. I don't know, there's something about Arne Slot and Gakpo they need to find out. It needs to be
Dutch
investigated.
connection. Maybe.
Apart from Dutch, it's becoming something else.
The guy is not performing.
But he keeps on getting...
I think he has only one Premier League goal this year.
I don't even know whether he has gotten a goal yet.
He has one Premier League goal
That's really bad.
this year. What of the likes of Ngumoa,
Yet he
Chiesa?
starts ahead of other players.
I don't know. That's what we are saying about some managers. When they keep their faith into particular players,
They are not performing.
they don't seem to make good decisions with other ones.
Yeah.
Rio Ngumoa
They
should
become
be
biased.
getting minutes. Rio Ngumoa should be starting ahead of Gakpo in some games, to
That's
be
really
honest.
sad.
And we saw his cameo appearances. Even Chiesa,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the season, anytime Chiesa steps onto the pitch, he does the business.
Right.
But the likes of Gakpo, even if he's firing blanks, he will still start.
Maiwa, it's great to have you join us. You've been award a little bit. I know you. I don't know how come the FIFA delegation you followed, the NFF delegation you followed, they could not pay 1,000 euros just to go see their petition go through.
Yeah.
So they were just doing it on lip service.
Yeah.
They sent a letter, and when it's time to pay 1,000 euros,
I think it's 1,000 Swiss francs.
Swiss francs,
Swiss francs.
they could not do that.
They couldn't pay.
Wow. They should have done a GoFundMe now. If Nigerians wanted to go to the World Cup, so they would have done. Yes, since they don't know.
That would be embarrassing, even if it happened.
This is the same federation that through the application of coach of the Super Eagles
Yeah,
online.
they
So
choose
one
open,
more,
yeah.
they can do GoFundMe too. At least I would have contributed something
Yes.
to help them submit the petition officially. Maiwa, it's great to have you join us.
It's always amazing to be here. I mean, the NFF saga continues. It shows how serious they've been. We've said it consistently. How do you lay a complaint? And the money for you to file the complaint, you can't find it, you can't pay it. The nonsense culture of owing people. They want to go and owe FIFA again, like they usually owe coaches.
They want to do it on
That's
credit.
what they are trying
We'll
to
pay
do.
later.
I mean,
decide first.
they had 30 years experience of owing coaches. They want to do it again to FIFA. And FIFA said, no, not on my watch. Unfortunately,
No wonder. FIFA was silent.
unfortunately, we will not be going to the World Cup because of the carelessness and the cluelessness
Oh my.
of the NFF. I mean, it was surprising that FIFA would take this long and they will not acknowledge anything and they will not see anything.
Oh.
Only for us to find out that, the NFF are clueless. And I think myself and Hafiz, we mentioned something like this, I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think
Yes.
about 3 weeks ago.
Don't
Yes,
be
we did.
surprised.
And we were saying we hope that
They did all
we
the
hope that
necessary procedure.
NFF actually filed this complaint and they are not just paying lip service. Unfortunately,
Yeah, you
FIFA has
guys-
come out to say
You guys saw
the
tomorrow.
money they are supposed to pay to file the complaint, they didn't pay it. It's so shameful, and that is the kind of people that is running our war. These people sit down on millions, on billions. I think they can get 1,000 francs. 1,000 Swiss francs is about, I think, about 700 pounds or thereabout. They cannot find 700 pounds. And this is the same person these are people that will travel to France to go and massage the leg of Moses Simon and then pay 700 pounds. I mean, it's just a disgrace, and it shows how unserious they are because of $700. It just doesn't make any sense.
All right, so to make our viewers understand what we're actually talking about, it is quite saddening to learn that after months of waiting and hoping, FIFA didn't dismiss the petition of the NFF against DR Congo because they lacked a case, but because the NFF failed to do the basic things like filing on time and paying the required fees of 1,000 francs, Swiss francs. FIFA could not even dignify Nigeria, because it's our country, with a formal response, but reportedly had to notify the NFF via phone call. That alone tells you everything about how seriously our case was taken. Now the NFF has to appeal at CAS, which is very unlikely to entertain a case that was thrown out on procedural grounds. It's not because the NFF didn't have a case. It's the way and manner they handled their case. The way you handle your case, even though you have overwhelming evidence, that alone will make the person who wants to attend to your case know you are not serious.
Exactly.
So the NFF Secretary General was live on camera facing the press, telling the whole world that he filed a petition, and he did not do the simple thing a clerk, a normal secretary will do. And he went and told the whole world that he filed the petition. Gasal, that oh God.
Jerry,
there are no names I want to call him, but I don't know.
You see,
it's not
Jerry,
permitted.
Mayo has actually said it about 2 weeks ago when we were talking. I said NFF may have submitted a petition, but did they do it the right way?
They did not submit. Okay, they just wrote a letter and dump it. I said anybody as easy to see.
Jerry, remember when you were saying
so they were waiting for us, the press, to be putting pressure on something that was not legally done.
You remember when you were talking about the way the Banga boys were putting out information, saying that that case has been attended to and all of that. That could have been the same way NFF was trying to use those Banga boys to spread the news that they submitted a petition, but they did not. The right way. How can you explain to people that 1.7 million naira you could not pay? Because that's 1,000 Swiss francs to naira. 1.7 million naira you could not pay.
Oh my.
And we know, you know how much you are getting. Oh. Is it that the third party that is paying your coach could not even bring up 1.7 million naira just to file a case?
Oh my.
And as Mayowa said, it's like they want to hold FIFA as well. What they are doing at home, they want to make it international. Local depth, they want to make it international.
What's an embarrassment?
1.7 million naira. And I told you,
No.
a week before, it's like 2 weeks now, FIFA notified them. And it was March 9. March 9, FIFA gave them that response that, look, you don't have a case, you did not pay.
FIFA...
And they don't do anything to date.
FIFA, they are not a mediocre organization.
Exactly.
They have standards.
Yes.
You notice that they didn't have to waste their time posting an official. Do you see anything official about this case?
Jerry,
because FIFA knows that they have everything to stand their ground that the NFL did not do the necessary.
I mentioned this to Mayowa. I said if they had done this thing the right way, Mayowa could bear me witness, FIFA would have responded by now.
Yes.
We know that we don't hurry FIFA.
Yes.
FIFA, they don't make
FIFA
decisions
need to wait till now, start doing backdoor.
Weeks upon weeks. I said
the delay was obvious.
Iraq
was wrong.
In the Intercontinental Playoff, they made a complaint because of what's happening in the Middle East. They said, look, FIFA, we want you to postpone this. Immediately, FIFA said no. Immediately. So why is it that something that you've pushed to them since December? You're telling me that they are wasting time
December,
on it.
January, February, March.
If you had done it the right way, you will have gotten a response.
I was wondering.
1,000 Swiss francs you could not pay.
Are you surprised?
Oh my.
International debt.
And I think they're having a congress very soon. Election is coming. And I've been hearing that Doso will be contesting again.
Yeah.
To run. This same board.
Don't be surprised, Jerry.
This same board.
Don't be surprised.
This same board should go.
You know how it is.
Well,
FIFA simply told them.
Where are they going?
FIFA simply told them, no credit today, come tomorrow.
I know that this board is not going to retain their position. Forget it.
They will.
Take it to the bank. They will not.
They will.
For not qualifying for the World Cup, they are going.
Except they just want to put them out. Okay.
They are going.
You can't face, the shame. Except they want to do that.
They are going.
Just
the election is in September. They are going.
They will stay.
They cannot stay. Goso has overstayed.
Okay, so if Goso leaves and Pinnick comes, what's the difference?
What's Pinnick?
Oh, you think? Who do you think is going to be there?
Forget it. Pinnick.
Who do you think is going to be there? He has been pushing for this third term now. He has been pushing for this thing.
Pinnick has eaten and is fat.
Is there any say? Is there any say that will push Pinnick out?
There is, of course. There's a cabal.
There's a cabal that push Pinnick out.
I don't want to go into all the politics that is on ground.
Jerry, the politics or not, we know.
See, let me tell you
who Pinnick is in Nigeria.
Let me tell you, Diko can back Pinnick.
Yeah.
But the forces, the likes of Olokpade, come on.
Yeah, because
Olokpade has links direct to the presidency.
Okay.
The current director. Pinnick can never come back. Okay. Just forget it. As I've just explained, just forget Pinnick. Pinnick is not even in the conversation.
Okay.
He should go ahead and start washing Mosepe's leg so that they will prepare another FIFA seat for him. But as far as the NFL presidency is concerned, Pinnick should forget.
Speaking of
Mosepe, he might influence a candidate.
Speaking of Mosepe, you see how embarrassing things can be. How Nigerians wash their dirty linen outside. Other countries are saying they are like lashing Morocco. There's a backlash faced by Morocco to other countries. Like, look, we don't support what CAF has said, and you came out to say it's a right decision. CAF, they've done the right thing. The CAF appeal board is independent.
Oh man.
You don't want to talk about what happened
on
on that final. You don't know what happened in the game. You just want to talk about how CAF has been doing well.
The thing is that there are some
It
people.
just says a lot about us.
Mario, there are some people who want to call out. We may have already lost. We have already lost this case, not in the courtroom, but
NFF
in an office.
NFF is not going to cast.
Where someone didn't do a job properly.
Jerry, I'm giving you an exclusive. NFF is not going to cast.
For point of correction.
CAS will not listen to anything that was not filed officially now. You can't blame CAS.
Yeah.
What do they want to go and do?
Because NFF is not going to the FIFA is not going to submit anything.
What do they want to go and do
So
as CAS?
imagine FIFA will call CAS. NFF is coming, please attend to them.
FIFA wins their cases as CAS now.
CAS will not even listen.
They have an issue.
CAS will say, where's the
reading
official
their
documents?
Point of correction.
Where's oh man.
Yeah, go ahead, Mayo.
Yeah, point of correction. If you don't approach the court of law, the judge cannot hear your case. The rules for filing cases are very clear. We did not meet that condition. As such, no judge can hear our case. So we never had the case. That's number one. Number two, you should not be surprised. The same NFF bottled our friendly with Argentina because of documentation issue. A friendly that they've been talking about for almost 1 year. They bottled it. The same NFF took 11 months to appoint an head coach for Nigeria. And these same people, they gave us 4 audio coaches in that. It is that same NFF that you FIFA successfully. The same NFF that came out and told us that Erichel has signed a very long-term contract, only for us to find out that Erichel just have 1 year left on his contract. The same NFL that told us at the unveiling, the same NFL that they gave money to.
Yeah, Mayowa, it's all sad, I hate to be sad.
Very sad.
But it is the reality that we're talking about. Leadership is not by wearing suits or wearing agbada and looking the part, but you are not showing.
What's your impact?
No workings, no workings.
Just talking.
No workings.
It's
very
sad.
I think the Secretary General should resign.
Yeah.
All of those
Jerry
in the board of the NFF should resign.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Immediate effect.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mayowa, I don't want to talk about vindication, but I can say that I am because I've been mentioning these things.
I mean, the thing is this: resigning alone is forgiveness. These people, because of what they are putting us through, because of this kind of incompetence, right? All of them, I know it's very harsh. They need to be in jail. How do you oversee billions of allocation? And this is what we are getting. In terms of administration, is zero. The same you are owing people, it's even have to take a third party to pay our head coach. Our head coach is coming up with a 19-point agenda that we cannot meet. And for heaven's sakes, if we had a case, if we had filed the case properly, we would have been going to the World Cup. That is $48 million that the NFF decided to throw away because of 1.7 million naira. The same people that posted about the head coach job online, they cannot do a GoFundMe for Nigeria and all of us will contribute. All of them in the glass house there, they say they don't have 1.7 million to pay this, to proceed with this case.
7 million.
In the next Congress, I hope we have sensible Nigerians who are actually passionate about football that will go there and vote. This nonsense cabal of a thing should stop. Because it's very clear, like tomorrow sunrise, Gusau was never ready to become NFL president. And that's just the honest truth. That's just the honest truth.
The next Congress, I think there's going to be one.
Because somebody just came up and brought him, and we are talking with Gusau with this incompetence. It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm sure that Gusau doesn't know that there's any process. He knows there's a petition, but I'm very sure he will not even pay attention to details.
What happened to the likes of Sanusi? Sanusi that was coming out with chest that time, saying we submitted a petition.
Okay,
Those Congolese players.
I should go there during that
I'm
press
still
conference
maintaining
back.
that
I didn't
they
think I can go back. I
Jerry,
will remove his cap and hit him on his head.
How would you
know?
How would you want to even lay a petition without knowing the procedure? That is a shame.
They knew the procedure and they
it's a sackable offense.
They wanted to, how will I put it?
They should
bypass procedure.
For lack of a better word, they should just dissolve the whole board.
The board should be
Because it's
with immediate effect.
It's worth it.
With immediate
They
effect.
deserve to be. Because how would you want to
is
go
that
into a process
even if
that you are coming out into the media to shout about?
I will not be
and
surprised.
You don't know the process.
I will not be surprised.
do
Those
so.
who want to dissolve the board, maybe the NFF also told them, there's more money we have to pay. Please, when are you going to make it available so that we can pay?
Jerry.
They will not say, are you paying now? You say,
Jerry, with
we
all
can't
the
pay. There's no money.
with all the allocations you are getting.
Now I'm telling you this. I'm telling you a picture.
Yeah.
They say we don't have money. Our coffers is empty. You know we are relying on you. They will not laugh over it. Don't worry, we'll pay. They will not be dragged. Okay, let's send the receipt to the CBN. They will not put it in one secretary on the table. When the CBN governor will not come, the CBN governor might not see it. Maybe it's now. They still say, who is going to pay? We have not paid though. The matter is going on. That's how it is.
1.7 million. Jerry, it is not 1.7 billion naira.
Oh,
it is 1.7 million
the
naira.
story,
1,000 Swiss francs.
The story. You see, if they explain Nigeria to you,
money that mosquito
well.
we use to buy lunch.
Exactly.
Come on.
What is going on?
Come on. Anyway, Igbo better has been a language since
2030. Is all
our grandfathers and grandfathers said,
and AFCON qualifiers now.
Said Igbo better.
We should know that DR Congo are playing that tournament.
Anyway, it's gone.
And they could have done better.
It's gone.
They could have done better.
Otilo, it is gone. Anyway, head coach of the senior national team of Nigeria, Rachel, didn't include any player from the Nigerian Premier Football League in his team for the AFCON, where they finished third in Morocco. The coach also ignored them in his latest list of players for the upcoming friendly tournament in Turkey, where they will be up against World Cup bound Iran and Jordan, respectively. And there was no spot in the list that was made public. That was last week for players in the Nigerian league. Although sources close to the coach say he's likely to include at most 2 of them when the team play in friendly games in June. Revealing more, our source said Chelsea's lack of faith in players from the NPFL is largely on their understanding of how he wants his team to play and their inability to cope with his high press, aggressive and pacey style. He said at the Unity Cup in England last summer, a couple of home-based players failed to keep up with his fitness drills and demands, but at that time it was said that the fact that they were deep in the season played a role in their inability to cope. The final straw was the CHAN tournament, where they completely capitulated under his instructions and demands. Ironically, it was the same formation that the Super Eagles used at the AFCON and blew everyone away until they got stuck in the semi-final where they lost to Morocco on penalties. Chelsea will no doubt take a look at them in league games before making any decision on inviting them in the future. And in previous times, he relied more on recommendations, but the players failed to live up. Yeah, the likes of Gumodede kept up painting some players well. That don't worry, they are good enough. He saw the worst at the CHAN where Mayowa's goalkeeper, what's his name?
Akot.
Ebenezer. Yeah, he was the only one because he didn't need to run around anyway.
That's Ikechukwu's keeper. Not my goalkeeper. Ikechukwu's goalkeeper.
The next Lami Yamal of Ikechukwu's under 17, under 20 team.
The next Sene Lamens.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not a guy he didn't use. Anyway, I've always said it that not picking the NPFL players is quite understandable. Look at the way the Super Eagles played at the AFCON. How many of the AFCON players can measure up in terms of the training? If you go to the NPFL training before the matches, you will be worried whether are they prepared for a football match?
No, they're ready for war.
To go and fight something.
Jumping over cones and tires. It's just the quality of the league.
So you blame the bar. So nobody should call Eric Chair out for not inviting NPFL players. The standard is below par.
And you can't fault him by saying he hasn't watched enough of the NPFL.
Well, how many can you watch with your safe head and come back? You'll be worried about his security, whether one bottle is going to fly over your head.
But Jerry, see, the thing is this, we should call him out. It is not right that we have a national team that none of our MPFL players will be in. That's number one. Number two, this is beyond the Chell. Your guy, Jerry's guy that wants to come back to the NFF, that wants to make an inroad back into the NFF, was part of those people that destroyed our league. Because he decided to abandon building a local team and importing people to come and play. And if you look at what Eche is doing, he has started on that same trajectory. So I've said it consistently. I don't have any issues with foreign-born Nigeria. I'm not more Nigerian than they are. However, if we continue to do this, it will continue to reflect poorly on our league. What is the incentive of these people upping their game? There is no incentive until if they don't leave to go and play for where Samas Obaso they play in Black Leopard in Tanzania. If they don't go to Tanzania or go to Chipas United or go to Crawley Town, they don't make it to the national team. They do not. So the incentive to play for the national team, the incentive to put in your best in the national league, in our league, to be able to be good enough to play the Super Eagles, is not there. Because there is no opportunity for you to, there is no opportunity. When there is no opportunity at the top, how do they want to promote you? So in as much as, we have issues with our league is below par, it doesn't speak well for our national team not to have a blend of, the home-based player. And we are talking about friendly, not international competition. These are friendly, and these are the places where you should be able to give an inroad to our local players. So I will call him out. We cannot continue to do this. We want to wait for somebody that will make Nigeria a second choice. I will be rejoicing in them. It's not a sustainable strategy. We need to start encouraging our local players to do better and see that they have an opportunity at playing for the national team.
I just want to be soft. I agree with my wife.
One CHAN tournament is not enough to say the whole league is bad, that we can't produce players. Just one CHAN tournament. There are other players that come in every time.
It makes it difficult for the coach of the Super Eagles to pick the right players because those he trusted to pick the right players. Like the players who persecuted the qualifiers for the CHAN were mostly different from the players that eventually went to the competition.
Yeah.
So that means merit was not also put at the front burner. And now Erichel is even demanding some 19-point agenda. That means his security and so. Who's going to secure him when he's going to Maiduguri to see Academy?
Aside that, Warriors? I think he had the likes of Ogumodede and Ilechuku to actually oversee things like this.
Of which,
because
with
they
all due respect,
with
all due respect, what we saw at the CHAN, Ogumodede and co didn't do service. In terms of
I'm still saying that you can't use one CHAN tournament to decide your.
We saw a lot of Remo Stars players.
The MPFL has
continued.
The MPFL has continued after CHAN, and we have seen players, right?
I mean,
yes, we might be fortunate maybe their age or their physical condition, but there are actually players that are doing well. I can point out some players like for Ikorodu City now. There's Joseph Arumala. He has been doing well. Leave his age is performing.
See,
no, leave his age is performing.
No, I don't want.
Okay,
I don't want us to discover a player that after playing 2-3 games, we are no longer seeing him.
But do you know Ahmed Musa is performing in the APFL?
Ahmed Musa
he's doing well. He even still scored this weekend.
Ahmed Musa is one of the
this past weekend he scored.
That was when the league was still. I remember that.
He scored this current one now.
I'm telling you now, when Ahmed Musa was discovered,
at
17, 18, the NPFL was having a recognizable sponsor. That was the season he scored how many goals? I think he scored a record goal number of goals. Yeah. But now, how many Ahmed Musa can you discover again from the league?
That is because they don't have that coverage. I can understand, but they still with the little they have.
Once
there are players that are doing well. There are players that are doing well, but because it's so degraded now, the NPFL is so degraded now. We are finding it difficult to pick players. They can't tell me that out of my wife said very well. Let's say you have about 30 players, and for 20 teams, 600 players. Okay, some may be foreigners, but let's say about 500 players. You can't pick one. You can't even make an 11 out of 500 players. I don't want to believe that, to be honest. Bring them to trials. It's friendly, for crying out loud. Bring them to trials. When you bring them to the national team, and you are seeing that they are not up to par with the ones that you are inviting, then you can have a case. You haven't brought them to the national team yet, and you are saying because of the way they play your one CHAN tournament is enough. These players that you are even inviting, some of them are not starting at their clubs, and some of them are not even playing well there.
Maiwa, Hafiz, for the Super Eagles is difficult.
Yeah.
Why? Because you have limited time to prepare for tournament like the AFCON.
Yes.
And the FIFA free windows are not that much. Like it would have been enough for you to start having the luxury of testing players.
But you are closer to home than abroad now.
Yes, closer to home.
You are closer to home.
Closer to home to see how many games. Like in Lagos now, you only have...
how many games is this in abroad?
Ikorodu United. Now, even abroad, it's easy. You can on your TV, you can go on YouTube.
That
you
is
can
the
see
edge. That's
the games.
the edge that they have.
That's the edge they have. But unfortunately, the NPFL doesn't have YouTube. It doesn't have anything online.
There are some games that are actually aired online. And
this
is where
have
scouts...
you seen the quality?
This is where scouts and other officials come in.
See, have you seen...
giving them weekly reports.
See, if you use the quality of the videos that come from the NPFL to judge players, I'm telling you, you'll not even pick one.
Jerry,
it's because one camera will be viewed from beginning to the end.
Jerry,
by the time you pass left and right, you will not see the goal.
Jerry,
how many times have you seen the play?
On a more serious note, it's not that bad.
Serious, it's bad though.
No, should I tell you why I said it's not that bad?
I'm waiting for replay of a scene.
There has been
for almost 15 minutes.
Listen, there's an improvement whereby some of these clubs on their official pages, their social media handles, they show highlights. See, even on YouTube,
have you seen the
quality
quality of those highlights? They are media officers. They are media officers. See, let me tell you. Oh God. Hafiz.
But Jerry,
I know some of the media officers. I have their contacts. I can call them. Only that they cannot say those things. Those guys are using their phone to cover their home games.
Jerry, like I said,
away games, they dare not bring out their phones.
It's not that bad. Go ahead, Mayo.
It's not that bad. So they are funding themselves. The media officers are funding themselves.
I think
you are right on that one, but it's not that bad.
I think coverage is improving. I don't want to mention branding. There's a particular brand on YouTube that streams MPFL games, and the quality is fantastic. The last games that were played, they don't stream much. They don't stream all the games. But there are some select games that they stream, and the quality is fantastic. You get to see the plays and the rest of that. So sometimes, most of the time, you don't get to watch it on TV, but I can watch on YouTube.
Wow. Is the NMC working with them to make sure that they maybe increase the scope and publicize it so that everybody will know about it?
That's a matter of Nigerian football. That is where we don't know.
They might even be asking them for money to...
We don't know. There's a lot going on in the back door for all of these things, right? Some people actually want to invest their time and their money, trying to cover the
unfortunately, they are being frustrated.
But, what they will ask them to bring and all of that. Even Sporting Lagos, that is in the NNL, is still getting some coverage. But the question is, how sustainable is it because of these board members that we have? But like I said, that's why I said it's not that bad. People are actually investing their time. Yeah. You get to see some games and you get to see replays. Do you understand? Oh. But even still, Jerry, there should be some games. Thomas Tuchel, does he watch all the Premier League games in England? He doesn't. But there are some select games he just wants to go and watch. He might have heard of a player. I saw him at the Burnley game. He might have heard of a player and he will go there and to go and watch.
And he will feel safe. He will come out alive.
Every child does not need to travel to the north or to travel to very, very far distances. Those players can come and say, okay, maybe a game against the Golden in Lagos.
Where is safe?
Be there.
Which place is safe?
No place is safe. I know, Mayawa. No place is safe at this point.
Which place is safe?
Only God can.
He can be going to Ogun State there and they will let him.
I understand.
At least there are some areas you can negotiate. You know the terrain. There are some areas you are on your own. Who will you call? Your brother will not come and help you.
It is what it is. That is why he included it in the 19 points wish list. And I hope that NFF will treat that one as a matter of urgency. If they really want their... But for an NFF that cannot pay 1.7 million, I think the 19 points wish list
your security cannot be guaranteed.
Is on his own.
1.7 million can be paid.
Come on.
Qualify.
They are the reason... And no one is calling them out. That's what's the problem. They are the reason why Nigeria is not being at the World Cup.
And yet they are not even doing anything.
The NFF that was coming out with chairs that time, we are going to lay a petition, we are going to do this. They are the reason why Nigeria is not playing that intercontinental playoff.
The NFF have said it from the beginning. As far as this World Cup is qualified, they've chosen to be the weapon fashioned against the Super Eagles.
From March 9, FIFA has already responded to you that you don't have a case because you did not pay this money and you kept it under wraps.
The thing is that right from the selection of coach process, they're looking for a coach. That's the time the NFF was working against the Super Eagles. and they succeeded in nailing it.
You remember
But
when
the coffin has been there. They've been preparing burial. This is the
Jerry,
final
remember when
burial.
you said NFL, they've woken up because of this?
Did I say they woke up?
You said they woke up.
No, I said
Did they wake up?
I said they decide to choose.
You remember
That doesn't mean that.
You remember when you said
I
they
said
woke
that.
up?
I
You said they sleep.
Thank
No,
God.
Jerry,
I
you
said they're always sleeping. It's
You said they're
normal.
always sleeping.
It's
But
normal.
they've woken
No,
up.
I didn't say they wake
With
up.
one
I
eye.
said maybe they just decide to wake up now.
No,
That is
no,
they are
you
wake
said they woke
up.
up.
They are living. They are.
See how they fair your hand. Can you see the way they fair your hand?
I will never on any platform give
They've
any
gone back to
kudos.
bed.
They always
You know
sleeping.
sometimes when you are sleeping deep, they will just wake you up and
Sleepwalking.
you
This is
sleepwalk.
sleepwalking.
You sleepwalk.
This
At the end of the day, you go back to bed.
Oh man.
It's so
Oh,
bad.
man.
It's
Oh,
so
man.
bad. That's what we are facing. That's what
Anyway.
we're facing now.
Anyway, that's a story for another day. But because of time,
Mm.
I would have loved to talk about the Victor Osimhen's absence.
Yeah.
Because he was left out of the squad for the friendlies, and the reasons have been made known.
Yeah.
It was due to the fact that he has been playing with injury. I said it before that
Yeah.
the way he looked, it looked like he has been playing with injury, even against Liverpool.
Mm.
If you notice, he could not finish that game.
Yeah.
The injury was
Finally,
aggravated.
he
And,
left that game, and right now I think he has a broken arm.
Yeah.
And of course, he's looking into it. He was going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
But of course, I think it's that's why it's a friendly. There are other players that can just step up to come and make themselves known. And the likes of Philippe Otele, you remember when I was talking about Philippe Otele, he said when last did he score? Well, he answered you over the weekend. He scored for Hamburg. I think that's going to be a good one. And we
I
also
wish
have
he
other
keeps
players
scoring,
missing.
because if he doesn't keep scoring, I don't see a reason why he should be in
Do you
there.
know the way the selection can be? The fact that you were called up this month does not mean you'll be called up next time. I remember Olakule Olusegun that plays in Russia. I didn't even see him in the Super Eagles shirt. And ever since that time, he hasn't even been called up. But let's see if these players can nail down their shirts maybe for a long time.
All right. Even players like Felix Sago too was also left out.
He's still injured.
Yeah.
Still injured.
Though they say he has returned, but he's not much.
There's been some cases of relapse and all of that. So he's still on his way back.
I feel for them. I hope he will not end up like
Is James?
No, I'm talking about the Dortmund captain, Marco Reus.
Marco Reus. Oh, who's always injured at the crucial times.
One of the most unlucky players.
Very, very unlucky.
Player in the world, yeah. And of course, Ryan Olubiosu was also not invited due to club engagement. Blackburn Rovers is facing relegation. I don't know if you get relegated from the championship. What next?
Jerry, can I bring in something?
Mm.
Okay, so Alebiosu was left out because of his club was facing relegations.
Yeah.
Now,
Club engagement.
I'm trying to liken it with the case of Maduka Okoye at the time. Udinese were also facing relegation. So this man had the case. If I'm coming and I know I'm not number one, instead of sitting on the bench, why can't I just go back to my club and help them survive relegation? And trust me, this man, he has successfully done so. Udinese now, if they survive in the Serie A, it's up to Maduka Okoye. Brilliant performance again over the weekend.
I'm not even interested.
Now he's
That
coming.
excuse not telling.
Now he's coming again,
excuse
and
not
I'm
telling.
sure he's going to be number
You can
one.
give excuse for him. For me, the guy betrayed the Eagles.
Come on, man.
He should face
Come
the
on.
music.
Come on.
He can play friendly, so when it matters the most.
Why are you being? Why
When
are you
it
bringing
matters
this
the
up?
most,
Why
is
is
to go back to the bench.
Why is not invited? Why you bring this up? Why?
I don't
You
know.
are the
I don't
one-
know.
you are the
I
one
don't know.
reminding us
I
that
don't know what he
Amadi was
wants.
not invited.
I don't know what he wants to.
I'm just saying that he's
you
number
want
one.
to annoy Jerry.
I'm not
going-
saying he's number
I'm
one
going to
now.
give it to you, but I'm ready.
Maduka Okoye has come to stay.
Stay
Even
and-
if he makes another mistake,
stay
we'll
in.
still put him there.
Stay here.
No, his performances have spoken.
Which performance?
His performances are speaking for him.
Oga
We have an unattached player.
Well,
We have somebody that is third choice.
No,
at his
One
club.
Bali is.
While we have first choice that is doing well.
One Bali has been training. Has been training with experience.
With who?
He has been training with.
He should not train now. He doesn't have a
He's-
club.
he's
What
not-
do you want to do? You want
This
to
is
match us?
friendly. Allow Maduka Okoye to be friendly material. When the push come to shove, the real goalkeepers will come out.
So if we are playing at the intercontinental playoffs, let's say FIFA now.
Stanley Nwabali all the
this is
way.
just today.
Don't finish Stanley Nwabali all the way.
You will have an
Stanley
unattached
Nwabali.
Stanley
Stanley Nwabali
Nwabali that
all
has
the way.
not played.
Tested, trusted, okay.
Okay, where?
At the AFCON.
So you have a clubless player.
You are as good as your last Oga Gbagbe. Anyway, let's talk about the big one.
Yeah.
What happened at the Wembley Stadium? Mayowa, can you tell us? Oh, really? O'Reilly, okay. O'Reilly gave them 2. Yes. It was good they named him twice.
They did name it twice.
Ake Paris of Alaga did not disappoint.
You know, say you know that sometimes the apprentice tí o bá kọ́ṣẹ́ parí kò lè ṣe dáadáa tó bá dáṣẹ́ lẹ̀, meaning the apprentice that is not finished learning work. There is no way it's going to succeed. I don't think Pep did freedom as a quality local balance.
Yes, he did do 7 years. Supposed to do 7 years internship before leaving. He didn't do 7 years.
Now, well, one down, 3 to go. They can bottle it and they can steal it. But on the more serious, the banter side, I think Kepa should be sold and be used to buy the problem that's happening to him. How do you mess up in that kind of a crucial game? How? It doesn't make any sense. Arsenal in the second half did not play. The first half they played very well. Second half they shut down, and that's the reason they couldn't lift their game. And it was just so poor. Again, experience always beats inexperience, and that's what Guardiola had over Arteta yesterday.
They didn't see corners. My wife, I didn't think corners were available.
They were not playing for.
The thing is that Man City understood the script.
Well, that's true.
The script was
they
avoid corners,
they didn't score anyone.
Avoid set pieces. Then Kepa, unless who doesn't know Kepa has issues with long balls coming from outside the team. It has always been his undoing. Unless the other coach did not study Kepa very well. If you want to beat Kepa, make sure you play outside shot.
Play from outside.
If you are good at that, you can beat Kepa. But one-on-one, you cannot.
Jerry, so a lot about Kepa, a lot has been going on over the media for people criticizing Arteta for starting him. I think that is why you have 2 goalkeepers. Yeah. When you trusted a goalkeeper from the beginning of a lesser tournament,
yes, you have to.
At the final, you should still be the one. No matter the team you are playing,
the players should have stepped up.
Okay, if Kepa had been brilliant now in that game, people will have called Arteta a genius for using him because he didn't go the right way. People are now criticizing him. I don't think he should face that. And as for me, this game, just like Mayowa rightfully said, Arsenal did not turn up in the second half. It was a game of 2 halves. Arsenal owned the first half, but did not take their chances. Since he had no shot on target in the first half.
Kepa is also jinxed.
He should have even been sent off in that game.
He's also jinxed. Like
look at the way he was dragging Jeremy Doku.
Look at Chelsea. When he was at Chelsea, he refused to come off the pitch.
And
they lost the final.
Marizesari almost lost his head. But he saved the penalty in that final. But ultimately, Chelsea lost.
It's like there's something about Kepa. Keep him away from the Premier League.
But then we all know that Villarreal is the first choice for Champions League.
In case Raya gets injured,
FA Cup.
In case Raya gets injured, if Kepa calls him,
I don't think Arsenal fans will pray for David Raya to get injured.
Kepa will just Kepa out the trophy.
Because trust me,
tell you, 1 down, 3 to go.
No, I don't think Arsenal are going for the quadruple.
1 down,
we all know
3
they
to
are
go.
not.
We are waiting.
We all know they are not. Arsenal's focus is on the Premier League. We all know that they are not going for any quadruple.
The FA Cup is still there.
In the Champions League,
now.
In the Champions League, they have 25% chance of winning it. They are not even
treble.
Forget that they finished top.
They beat Leverkusen. Sporting is on the way.
Sporting is going to give Arsenal
Barcelona
the last time Sporting faced Arsenal in the European game, they knocked Arsenal out in the Europa League. So who says they can't do it in the Champions League?
This is Champions League. They can beat Sporting.
Did you see the way they played that second leg?
The form of Arsenal right now, they can beat.
Did you see the way they played
the second leg is at Emirates?
Yes. No, this time around, because they finished first, Arsenal will be playing all their first leg.
Arsenal should scale through that one.
They knocked Arsenal out at home in the Europa League that was mentioned now. Where Manchester United...
This current Arsenal side, they have
Manchester United midfielder Ugarte.
They are not facing Guardiola in Sporting. Don't worry. Calm down.
You think so?
They are going for the treble now.
You think so?
Treble is on the way. Mayowa. Really, we have to go now. Oh, really? We have to go.
Mayowa, would you rather? I want to ask you, Mayowa, a young up-and-coming player that made the England squad, Nico O'Reilly, he scored 2 goals against Arsenal in a final. I think that should be better than a 35-year-old Danny Welbeck that wasn't even considered. His retirement age, scoring 2 against Liverpool.
These are proverbs.
What do you say? What say you, man?
This is going to a book of proverbs.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, the 35-year-old is still functioning and he was able to deliver a soccer punch 2 times.
Wow.
Against a confused and slot side.
Exactly. And Beto also did something 2 goals against Chelsea. So it wasn't that bad.
We have to go. Thank you very much, Mayowa. Thank you very much, Hafiz. A big thanks to the guys who did great behind the scenes, talking about the likes of Shegun, Sam, as well as Jerry, and of course, Hassan. My name is Jerry Apello. I say thanks for being a part of the show. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Stay tuned.
ezigbo nwa afọ Nigeria. Ka ihe m ga-eme pụrụ iche.
Nwanne m nwoke.
Adanne.
M ga-akwụ chi n'eziokwu. Kwanyere ndị ọzọ ugwu ma lekọta obodo anyị anya.
Gbam!
Ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m. Obodo anyị bụ Nigeria ga-aga n'iru ma ọ bụrụ na anyị jikọta aka kwado ndị na-achị anyị ka ha mee nke ha, anyị ga-emekwa nke anyị.
N'ezie, ọganihu ga-adị ma ọ bụrụ na anyị na ndị na-achị anyị jikọta aka rụọ ọrụ.
Asaa bụ
onye ndị na-achị anyị kwekọtara ha ga-eme ka obodo wee dị mma.
Igbo kwenu! Igbo kwenu! Igbo kwezuenu o! Ọ bụrụ na bụ ezigbo onye Naịjirịa aga m eme na-edosa ụzọ anyị ụcha oge niile na-akwụtụsi n'ụzọ eziokwu na-emere ndị agbata obi anyị ebere ndị ọchịchị ga-arụ ụzọ ọma na-abịa nwee ụlọ ọgwụ ọma na Anambra mee Enugu ka ọ dị nchebe ihe n'abalị nkwekọrịta gọọmenti na nzaghachi ndị obodo ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m bilie ka anyị bulie Naịjirịa elu nkwekọrịta ndị ọchịchị anyị ga-aza ọnụ obodo anyị ga-eme ya ọ bụ nkwekọrịta anyị na anyị ga-eme ka Naịjirịa gaa nke ọma. Ndị ọchịchị ga-eweta ahụike ọ bụrụ na nrọ ọrụ ike mụta aka ọrụ ndị ọchịchị ga-emepe ụzọ ọrụ n'Ebonyi Imo ọ bụrụ na nkwanye ugwu nye agbụrụ niile n'otu ndọrọ ndọrọ ọchịchị ndị ọchịchị ga-ekpe ikpe ziri ezi nye onye ọbụla nkwekọrịta gọọmenti na nzaghachi ndị obodo ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m bilie ka anyị bulie Naịjirịa elu nkwekọrịta dị ọchịchị anyị ga-aza ọnụ obodo anyị ga-eme ya ọ bụ nkwekọrịta anyị na anyị ga-eme ka Naịjirịa gaa nke ọma. Naijiria obodo mmanụ aṅụ na mmiri ara ehi na-asọ ụzọ ọma o ụlọ ọgwụ ọma o ebe obibi ọma o Igbo ndị ọma pụtanụ ka anyị yọleba onye agbakwala nke nwanne ya gbara. Let's go!
Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu na Imo anyị na-ekwe nkwa na anyị ga-eso ụzọ asaa na asaa ndị na-achị anyị wepụtara.
Powered by National Orientation Agency.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise
no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Street.
We go to bed empty hunger.
To the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs,
There you have it. Obi's visit to Kwakwanso unsettles APC. PDP has no plans to support Tinubu in 2027. This is coming from Wike's camp. France to support Nigeria with military equipment. Good evening and welcome to Political Lens. I am Chukwuma Okoro. We are broadcasting on Metro SL TV channel 264 on YouTube and other social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Let's bring in our guests. We've been joined in the studio here in Lagos by Mr. Darlington Agomo. Mr. Agomo is a lawyer as well as a political affairs analyst, but he's here in the capacity of a political affairs analyst. Good evening, Mr. Agomo, and thanks for joining me on Political Lens.
Mr. Okoro, how are you?
Very well. Good evening. Good to have you, sir.
My pleasure.
Big one. Now, let's quickly run into it. The political atmosphere in Kano shifted following a high-profile Salah gathering hosted by Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso, which brought together key opposition figures, including Peter Obi, Sheyi Makinde, and Seraki Dixon. The event held at Kwakwanso's residence in Kano during the Salah celebrations featured enthusiastic support from Kwakwansia followers, with chants in support of Obi. Although Obi maintained that his visit was purely celebration and to honor Kwakwanso, their joint appearance has fueled speculation about a potential 2027 presidential election, the political alliance ahead of the 2027 presidential election. Discussions around a possible Obi Kwakwanso ticket have intensified, especially as Obi has reportedly moved to the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Kwakwanso has suggested he may only leave the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, if offered a top position, such as president or vice president. Meanwhile, broader political realignments are underway, including the defection of 9 senators, mostly from the north, to the ADC, alongside moves by political figures like Salihu Yakasai, the former media aide to Abdullahi Ganduje, former governor of Kano State, who cited a desire for a new direction. He simply moved from the APC to the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Now, the Kano State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, reacting, said, well, they are surprised about the gathering, questioning both its timing and relevance. The party spokesperson criticized the meeting as politically disconnected from local realities and expressed skepticism about the strength of the alliance. He also pointed to what he described as a low turnout. Well, I'm not sure that turnout was low, arguing that the event failed to demonstrate significant grassroots support despite the presence of prominent national figures. Despite the APC's dismissal of the meeting's significance, observers see it as a possible early signal of opposition coalition building ahead of the 2027 elections. Well, previous engagements, such as Kwakwanso's meeting with Seyi Makinde in Ibadan, have added to the perception of strategic coordination among opposition leaders. Well, while the APC maintains that the developments pose no serious threat, the evolving alliances suggest a shifting political landscape that could shape future electoral contests. Mr. Agomo, what's your reaction to this development? You heard people chanting Obi Kwakwanso, and all of that, you know, at when Obi went to visit Kwakwanso, you know, in Kano, in solidarity for the Salah celebrations. What's your reaction to this? And especially with the fact that, well, APC members are saying the gathering didn't even make much difference. It's not significant because there was a low turnout. But I see crowds gathered there and all of that. So let's have your broad reaction to development events between Obi and Kwakwanso in Kano State.
In fact, I am so happy that the opposition has woken up. If they have started like this, maybe as early as last year, I'm sure they would have taken shape by now. But with what is happening now, I strongly believe that things are going to happen eventually, you know. APC, of course, they will dismiss it as nothing, but the taste of the food is in the eating, you know. And so let us look at what this thing is going to bring, the result is going to bring for the opposition. Because this Mahmoud crowd is I think is a novel to APC. They never believed that this thing is getting to this level. They never believed that this thing is getting to this level. They believe that the opposition, they are still sleeping. They are still sleeping. But right now, from all indications, they are woken up. They are woken up. So I believe that it's going to yield something at the end of the day, if they can sustain it. Because this APC, they have a way of torpedoing all the moves by the opposition. They will use federal and state power to muzzle them down. Now, this opposition leader should now be as wise as a serpent in how they go about their meetings and every other thing. That is the advice I will give here.
Mr. Gomo, what gives you the impression that the opposition has woken? Is it because Obi visited Obi Seraki Dixon, Seyi Makinde visited Kwakwanso? Is that enough, you know, to say that? What's the significance of that visit? Is it just to, you know, to threaten the APC, or is it in terms of real political alliance? Because the other time we saw Seyi Makinde, you know, host Kwakwanso in Ibadan, and when Seyi was asked, said, well, it's routine, we have been friends all along, and all of that. What in particular gives you the impression that, well, this is more like a renaissance for the opposition movement?
These opposition figures cannot just converge in Kwakwanso's room for nothing. Okay. I mean, you can see that these are the main opposition for now. And so for them to have come together, it's not about Salah. There is more to it. I'm sure behind closed doors, they must have had discussions. That's a fact. Those crowd that was because 90% of the time, it is the people that ginger political leaders. Yes, the reaction of the people will tell them the direction they will take most times. So if this crowd is now singing some songs like that, it means that the people are happy. They want them to do things. They are behind them and all that, including those who want to stay behind until the D-Day, that's the election day proper. So it is an indication that something is going to happen.
Okay, an indication that something might happen. Now, what are the political permutations here? Should we look at, which one will it be for you? Should we look at something like Obi Kwakwanso, meaning that Obi will run with Kwakwanso as running mate, or will it be Kwakwanso Obi, or will it be Kwakwanso Dixon? Recall that Dixon was also at that meeting, or will it be Kwakwanso Makinde? Which one is the most sellable?
Yes, the most sellable here is Obi and Kwakwanso, because whenever a presidential candidate is coming out from the south, he must look to the north for vice.
Okay.
That is just this thing. It must look to the north for vice. And so, since it has been settled that this is the turn of the south, then, I mean, why not if not?
Sheyi Makinde is also from the south. Seraki Dixon also from the south.
No, the most sellable person here is Peter Obi. Everybody knows that. After all, the crowd there, they saw that before they were singing Obi Kwakwanso.
Now, talking about the crowd, is there a possibility that that crowd could have been hired? Or do you think it's a fallout of Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso's political influence in the north? Regarding the, if you look at the camera now, you see that all of them are practically wearing the traditional Kwakwanso red gear, red hat and all of that. Is it because of his influence, or is it because of P2B's presence? What will you ascribe to this mammoth crowd there?
Kwakwanso has a cult followership, especially in Kano. There is no doubt about that. My own opinion is that cult followership should spread across all the northern states. As for the crowd, I don't think they are rented.
Okay. It's organic. You think it's organic?
Because an Obi, I don't think Obi will have money to give anybody to come and sing for him.
Well, if he doesn't, other people will. Don't you think so?
No, because the meeting is not a political or whatever. I think it's by the sideline. These people now took advantage that they have seen their political leaders, and they need to,
was it spontaneous? Because you wonder why about over 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people are wearing the same, Kwakwanso hat. Was it at the spur of the moment? Don't you think that it was pre-planned that, well, Obi is coming to visit me and you need to mobilize people? Wouldn't that sound like more like a rented crowd?
If you tell your supporters or something and they came,
okay,
I don't think it's rented.
Okay, you don't think it's rented?
I don't think, because from all indication, a Kwakwanso and Obi person that you and I know, they are not good in doing such things.
Okay.
It's not their thing.
It's not in their character to rent crowds.
No. Because that crowd, Kwakwanso, it is a given that he has people. Then Obi is a given that he has followership in the north. So
you said something that needs further interrogation. You said, well, that the Kwakwanso movement, which is predominantly, in Kano, should spread to other parts of the north. Kano is not west, right? Now we have a situation where you have people like Shetima serving vice president. He's from the northeast, and he's just there. The party doesn't know what to do with him. I mean, APC doesn't know what to do with him because he's Muslim and the president is Muslim. Is it possible to pull off, for the president to pull off, a Christian Northerner as running mate and all of that. And the fact that over time it has not been easy for Kokwanso, to spread his dragnet, across the north. He's only been able to maintain that capacity, in Kano State. What could be the limitations? What could be the problems? Why is it that his influence has not grown beyond Kano State? I mean, 2 times he's been to Senate, he's been minister, and he's been governor for 8 years. He even planted a governor in Kano State. And in all of this, he's just been able to maintain influence in Kano State. What could be the reason why he's not gone beyond that?
There is a political culture in the north.
Okay.
That culture is controlled by the Fulanis. And I don't know whether I'm making a mistake. Kwakwanso is a core Hausa man.
Okay.
And the Kano is a core Hausa state. And so he cannot be wrong if he control the Hausas in Kano. And then the Fulani that are controlling other states in the north, they may be seeing him as an opposition. That is the way it is. That is what I think. But when the push comes to shove, they will accept him. It's a question of, dialogue and all that.
Okay, well for clarity, Kokwanso is Fulani. Kokwanso is a Fulani.
Oh, it's a Fulani man.
It's a Fulani man.
Then it's good to go. It's good to
go. But the question is, why is it that his influence is not going beyond Kano State?
No, because Kano, like I told you, is the traditional Hausa state.
But Kokwanso is Fulani.
A Fulani, yes. He has been able to win the heart of the people of Kano.
Okay.
Because of his style of leadership. And so that culture, it has been broken. That is whereby they vote according to tribe and ethnic
Okay, according
group.
to ethnic affiliations.
So,
now, let's move away from that. NDC, has come into the mix. You recall that Seriake Dixon was at that meeting, between Obi, Kokwanso, Shei Makinde, and himself. And you know that NDC, National Democratic Congress, has just been registered as a new political party. They tried since 2014. Yeah, they kept making efforts until, I think that was in January or February, that they got their registration went through. Now, he was in that meeting. Is there a possibility that they could be considering, in case they don't get a ticket, in the ADC and moving over? But it will be somewhat difficult for them because you understand, the entry barrier has been created now in the Electoral Act and all of that. What do you think could be the reason why Seriake Dixon was at that meeting?
It's for alliance.
Okay.
Because for you to defeat APC, whether you like it or not, there must be alliance.
Alliance between?
Or political cooperation among the opposition. They should come together.
Okay.
That is the only way forward. No other way. No other way. That is just the truth.
The opposition we are looking at here is between ADC, a faction of the ADC, and Seriake Dixon, because in this ADC, Rotimi Amechi isn't there, Atiku Abubakar is not there, Rauf Areboshola is not there, except you are saying that, well, these people were sent to as Obi and Kokwanso is not even in ADC. The only ADC member there is still Peter Obi. And you recall that NDC is just a fresh political party. So what are they bringing to the table? Is it structure? Is it capacity? Is it influence? Is it money? What do they have? Or is it a spare tire, like some people have said? Well, let's keep running with ADC in case we are unable to. If it gets punctured at some point, we'll now turn to NDC. Could it be?
Look, the important thing here is the number.
Okay.
I can tell my people, oh yeah, this is where you should go and vote. I can influence people on your behalf. I can delegate people to go and do things on my behalf, even though I may not be in the ballot or something. But my people, their vote is very important. Whether we like it or not, this political leader, they only have one vote. The votes are coming from the people.
Okay.
You can see now. So even if the electoral act has closed the window for them, there are people uncle. Did the electoral act close the window for them? The answer is no. It's a question of telling your people this is where to go, and they will go there.
Now, but Mr. Gomo, let's talk about this electoral act and the entry barriers. You know, there's a timeline, you know, within which now political parties have already submitted their digital membership register to INEC, and that timeline is closed. Now, do you think it's an effort to exclude some people? Because let's create a scenario now. Somebody like Atiku Abubakar, P2B, or Rotimi Amechi doesn't get a ticket, you know, in the ADC. At this point, the person cannot make a move again, because if he goes to NDC, you know, his name is not in the register, so he cannot contest. And there is even a law that says that before you file for elections in a political party, you must have spent at least 6 months in that political party. Is it some form of effort to exclude some people, you know, from the presidential race?
Yes, this was an evil clause that was introduced by APC, because the opposition didn't see it coming, even though they said they want to go and challenge it. But I doubt if it will make any. Yes, let them try to challenge that clause in the Electoral Act, because you are now closing the window of freedom of association. When people defected into APC, you didn't bat an eyelid. But when they are leaving APC to other party, you start breaking head. These are issues that they should present to the court. And the court will see it as what? As taking advantage of their position as a ruling party, or trying to abuse the freedom of individuals. That is why I feel that they should do that, because it's still in our constitution that you must have freedom of choice, freedom of association, freedom of movement. So why would you use an electoral act which is inferior to the constitution? It's not possible. It's not possible.
Okay. So you think that if they go to court, they might gain, they might have...
Yeah, somebody will listen to them.
Somebody will listen to them.
Yes.
Now, let's ask, I want to ask you, what will be the outcome if any effort to restrain either Obi, Amechi, or Atiku, or collectively, three of them, from leaving the ADC and it forces them to remain in the party? Let's say because are not upset for the APC.
That word upset is you are being too kind.
Okay.
There's going to be a tsunami. Okay. The word is tsunami because the result will be so mammoth, so overwhelming for APC to handle. More so, if these people are going to determine that every vote must count. So all the tricks APC want to play, they will now checkmate it. I pray that this opposition, they will come together. I pray.
Okay, so apparently your position is that, well, the APC will be, shooting themselves on the foot.
Yes.
You know, if they try to force these people to remain in one party and they don't give them the freedom to,
exactly.
You know, didn't they envisage all of this? You know, they didn't envisage what could be the outcome or the consequences of this electoral act that says, well, you can't move from one party.
It is always like that when you are planning evil against somebody. You don't know what God has proposed for the same person.
Okay.
Is that not true? When one man was planning evil against the Israelites in the Bible, he never knew that the hole he dug for the Israelites, he would be the one to fall inside it. When Esther decided to save his people. So God has a way of doing things. Because what APC have done so far is not just immoral, it is undemocratic. And so, with the support of the people, the opposition, led by ADC, is going to trash APC in the pool. Because let us be frank here. Some people are not happy with APC. With what Tinubu is doing in APC. I hope you know that.
Okay.
They are not happy. So they will this game they are trying to play now will give them a fillip to now sabotage Tinubu. Remember what they did to Jonathan? When they are not happy with him, they were, guarding him until the last day of the last day of the election. That was when Jonathan realized that they have pulled the rug under his feet.
Now talking about APC, you understand that they will hold their conventions in the coming weeks, and there's a lot of complaint, within the APC. Some candidates are saying, well, we have been shut out, from the process. We are not being allowed to collect forms. People that are interested in
because they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to.
They don't want those people, and you know that a lot of people have moved. When governor moves, commissioners and others,
yes.
House of Assembly, senators, and all of that are all moving to the APC. Now, could this be the implosion that people have been expecting?
Of course. I mean, it was envisaged. Yes, me and you have discussed it there, and I took a stand because I know the people you promise an automatic ticket if they defect to your party. Eventually, there is no automatic ticket. How do you think they will feel? I mean, I said...
No, but we also understand at some point, Nigerians will say, well, the president is a master strategist and is able to, satisfy everybody, make everybody happy. Has he lost that capacity? Or do you think he's not going to pull that off in this convention?
Mr. Okoro,
okay.
Monkey clever. Now, when trees are together,
if he could be overwhelmed with the
of course, you must. I told you here that it will be difficult for Tinubu to manage APC with the way people are jumping into that place. He cannot manage them, especially if they are not even given freedom to exercise their right and all that. Like, look at it now. People cannot access their form. What does that tell you? Hold on. What does that tell you? Is that not the beginning of a problem to come?
Do you think that those people will leave, or they are going to work against their party?
They are going to work against their party if they cannot leave.
Because nobody can leave at this point.
The other man will say, okay, since you don't want me, okay, no problem. You don't want me to take form, Abi? You are choosing your candidate, Abi? Okay. He will go and do some damage now. So,
what if they do otherwise? Well, since I can't get a ticket, let me support my party member. Do you think they won't do that?
I don't
because we have already said, well, if ADC members are unable to move, they'll simply probably decide to stay in the ADC and support their members. So why wouldn't it happen in the APC if it can happen in the ADC?
Why would they be happy since they defected from their party?
Okay.
On the promise that they will have automatic tickets? And now...
And you're not giving them the ticket.
How can they be happy? Please tell me. The highest thing they will promise them is money or appointment. But they will tell you, no, this is not what we agreed.
You think that politicians reject money? I mean, you are not getting a ticket, you are not getting a nomination, and they say, okay, take this money. You think they would... Okay, let's say, okay, how much have you spent? I've spent 25 million naira. Okay, take 70 million. Do you think Nigerian politicians
we are looking at the trillions here.
Okay.
Because everybody is aware that certain money is missing in NPCL. And so, where that money is, you'll be looking at it when you are making a negotiation, when you are making demand.
Okay, you think that APC is using that, took that money to prosecute election?
What did they use it to?
How do you even know that? How do you know that APC is with the money?
Under whose word did the money disappear?
But some of them have already left. Malami has left.
Hold on. Under whose word did that money disappear?
But some of the people, that are undergoing investigations have also left APC. Hadi Seriki has left. Abubakar Malami has left.
Where the money disappeared is not where anybody can have access to.
Except?
It's not a government treasury. This is NPCL. So, I mean, you can't work, you can't go there and say, give me money, whatever. And so the people that are involved, they know, let us see whether Serap will succeed in forcing Akpabio.
All right, Barrister, let's come out from NNPCL now and stay within the politics. Now, you seem to notice that there's a surge, in the number of politicians of northern extraction dumping the APC to the ADC. What message does that convey, about 2027?
Yes, because the North have already told Tinubu in clear time that they would, since he did not fulfill the agreement they had, they will not vote for him again. And that is one thing with agreement. You see, have you seen why there will be problem in APC? Because, in fact, that of Kano governor, his own was so dramatic that Tinubu had to tell him to wait for him. He waited in Asoro for 2 days, waiting for Tinubu to come back from his foreign trip and all that, so that they can now negotiate, all those things is in the public domain. So when you have gone through all this and sacrifice your party and your whatever, you now jump into APC. Then at the end of the day, somebody will tell you that, don't worry, we are going to give you... What if the appointment did not even come?
Mr. Agomo, if you know how sagacious the president is, do you think, that the APC is threatened by the ADC or any strong opposition in 2027? Do you see any threat? Do they feel threatened? Are they jittery, based on what you see around?
They are more than jittery. That is why they are making things...
But they are in control.
It's not enough. You just have 32 governors.
Okay.
These 32 governors may not be in control of their states. Because when they defected, they did not call the people to say, should I go or should I not? Their people just woke up one morning and discovered that their governor, whom they voted for PDP, have moved to APC without any discussion with them. So they are nursing the insult and they are waiting for them at the poll. That is just the truth.
All right. Now,
okay, for a good example, if somebody were to tell you that a Tinubu will lose Lagos in an election, would you believe it?
Do you think it will happen this time around? Do you think it will happen again?
In fact, it's going to be double this time around.
He lost the presidential election, but won the governorship.
I said it is going to be double this time around because things have gotten worse since after the last election.
Okay.
All these area boys and whatever.
Do you think that people will be allowed to vote freely, considering what happened in...
That is where they are waiting for them. I'm not joking.
Okay.
Those things that they used to deceive people in Lagos, those things that they used to win election in Lagos, people are now warming up to checkmate it. When it is violence for violence, nobody will tell them to think twice because the people are more in number.
Okay, let's go to the PDP, where a faction of the party backed by Nyesom Wike has denied reports that it plans to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 elections. Well, the group's spokesperson, Jungundo Mohammed, stated that the party is committed to fielding its own presidential candidate and urged Nigerians to disregard rumors suggesting alignment with the ruling party. Mohammed described claims of collaboration with the APC as propaganda aimed at discrediting both the PDP and Nyesom Wike. He emphasized that the party needs time to organize its primaries and present a credible candidate, assuring supporters that it remains independent and focused on its political goals. Well, despite this denial, the situation is complicated by Wike's earlier public statements expressing support for Tinubu's re-election. While acknowledging Wike's influence, Mohammed maintained that the minister remains a valuable political figure whose relevance cuts across party lines. But, Barrister, you were shaking your head when I was doing my intro. What was your reaction to this piece of news? Well, Wike camp has come out to say, we are going to field our own presidential candidate. We are not supporting Tinubu in 2027. Does it look to you like this is ordinary soundbite, or do they really mean it?
The mere fact that anybody is coming from Wike has already signaled a failure. With what Wike has done so far with PDP and Rivers State and his so-called influence, people are not happy with Wike with the role he has played so far.
I'm sorry. Let me get you clear. You say anybody coming from Wike. Are you talking about the presidential candidate?
Yes.
Okay.
Or any other person that want to vie for position through Wike's camp. Because already people have disowned Wike and they have expelled him from their party. And so on what ground will you be working with him?
Mr. Agomo, when you say they have expelled him from the appeal court just recognized his faction as the authentic faction of the PDP. So that expulsion, does it hold sway?
I think they went to Supreme Court.
Okay.
And so at the end of the day, somebody that has been expelled for anti-party activity, which is very obvious to everybody, on what ground were you going to validate his candidates?
Okay, so you think that the Supreme Court will validate the order of the appeal court?
No, it may not validate it though, because
No, invalidate, I mean.
Invalidate, okay, yes. Because in fact, if they can put up a strong argument,
okay,
the anti-party activity is a major factor in expelling a party member. Anti-party activity is a very strong point. And Wike cannot deny that. If they present it to the court will look at it and say, well, yes. How can you be in PDP and you're working for APC and you are not even hiding it? And now you have been expelled again and you are still resisting it. Who are you? If the court love democracy and truthfulness, they will not accept Wike. They will not, because it's against the spirit and letter of democracy.
Against the spirit and letter of democracy. Now, Sule Lamido is making desperate efforts, to bring all the factions together. One, does he have the capacity, and isn't it a little too late? The factions in the PDP, are they reconcilable? Can they be reconciled? Look at Sule Lamido is there, faction. Yes, Wike faction is there. Sheyi Makinde and Turaki faction is there. Do you think that the officials in the PDP, that they could be reconciled before 2027 election? Mind you, they are going into elective national convention where they will also, after that, they do their primaries to elect presidential candidates. Do you think that people are going to run, on the platform of the PDP for governorship, Senate, and House of Representatives, even House of Assembly, considering, the legal landmines, within the party? This court said, this other court said, this court is saying that in fact, there are multiple litigations in court, concerning that. Even members of the PDP are confused. Do you think that people will be bold enough, to run on the platform of the PDP?
It behoves on the court to save this democracy.
Okay.
By doing the needful at the right time. Yes, the court is now the final arbiter in this matter. But while we are waiting for the outcome of the court, they can go ahead with whatever. In fact, I'm beginning to think that PDP want to distract the attention of APC. Because if they are seeing them as people in disarray, not knowing that at the back of their mind, they know what they are doing, they will come together in the last minute
to work against the APC.
Exactly.
Do you think that Wike can do that against Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Yeah, did you not say today that they did not agree to support? Did you not hear it? In fact,
could it also be a decoy, for the people in Wike's camp to say, well, we might just be, trying to make.
As long as he said it to Tinubu, as foxy as he is, will look at that statement with a pinch of salt, because that is not how to. That's not how to play a decoy. You have already uttered it, and so your followers are listening to you. I don't know how you are going to withdraw that statement, because the followership is very important in this matter. All these political gladiators, they depend on the world, their followers, because they are the ones that are going to do the actual voting. Is that not true? And so if your body language and your whatever does not align with them, how will they support you? How? That is the truth. So that statement that we came made today, I will see the outcome before the week.
He's the spokesperson of the Wike camp. But do you think that man, Mohammed, could be bold enough to go out and say this without approval from Wike? So apparently, your position is that Wike is the one speaking.
Of course, now, of course, yes. He flew a kite. Most times, it's not always proper to fly the wrong kite because of the backlash.
What will happen if PDP flies a southern candidate, no matter how weak the person is? Is it going to cause any upset for the APC?
That is the more reason why people are going to disown him and his candidates and do the needful. Okay. Yes. As long as Wike is looking for a weak candidate who will eventually step down and then give their vote to APC, it may not work, because that is what he's trying to do now. knowing fully well that he has been seen as the bad boy of this politics, especially Rivers. He may not get Rivers as he did the other time. People will be waiting for him, especially people like Amechi and co.
All right, Mr. Agomo, let's get into defense and military. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, president of Nigeria, announced a new phase of military cooperation between Nigeria and France, following talks with Emmanuel Macron, that's the French president. The agreement focuses on providing Nigeria with military equipment, training, and operational support to strengthen its fight against terrorism and insecurity. The president disclosed this during a meeting with state governors in Lagos after returning from a UK visit, noting that his administration is also engaging other countries to secure additional defense partnerships and resources. The president emphasized that insecurity remains a major threat to Nigeria's stability, economic growth, and social development, urging both federal and state governments to work together to address it. He also highlighted plans to invest in modern technology and military hardware, while warning that global tensions, particularly in the Middle East, could worsen inflation and living costs in Nigeria. The move comes as the country continues to battle insurgency in Northeast, banditry in the Northwest and North Central, and separatist unrest in the Southeast. Mr. Agomo, the president admits that insecurity threatens the stability of this country. Has he done enough to stem the tide?
No. In fact, he has not even done anything, not to talk of enough.
No, how can you say he's not done anything? He just signed he spoke with Emmanuel Macron, and Emmanuel Macron promised him, that he's going to send military equipment to Nigeria. His aides, National Security Advisor, Defense Minister, were in the US sometime early this January to sign a military cooperation agreement, and we also have 100 American soldiers already in Nigeria. He was in Turkey and they signed a security agreement. So is that not enough that he's doing?
It's not enough. Those things are showmanship, paperwork. Paperwork. There is nothing on ground to threaten the terrorists. Please, is there any time Tinubu made a national broadcast concerning this insecurity? Just remind me, maybe I've forgotten. This. Up to today, Tinubu have not uttered a word. Something as big as this is going on in this country. The killings, the terrorism, the kidnapping. Yeah, Tinubu have not come out to make a broadcast, national broadcast, showing the direction the government is going, what they intend to do and all that.
Maybe he's working on the ground.
Mr. Okoro,
yes, sir.
If you are preparing for madness for 25 years, when exactly are you going to run mad to entertain the public? No. Every time he's working on the ground.
I said maybe.
How long did it take?
I said maybe he could.
Since you are not sure, why say it? It's like you are supporting this Tinubu.
Barrister, we are holding a discussion.
This discussion is not good.
Barrister, I'm entitled to support who I am. I'm a Nigerian, but on this issue, I'm an anchor. I'm just asking you questions.
Why do you see something that is very, very...
How would I don't work in the prison.
So
I said maybe he could be working on the ground.
Why did you put maybe there?
Okay, you want me to say he's not working?
You should have kept quiet since you don't know what to say.
Barrister, how many times have you used maybe here?
I am the one analyzing. So since you don't know, why not?
I'm asking you maybe.
No, you listen to me.
Barrister,
since you don't know,
it's for you to say he is not, and not to attack me. Yes.
No, that your maybe. That you have. In fact, you have taken a position, and I don't like it.
What's the meaning of maybe?
I say you know how to use.
When someone says maybe, what does that connote?
That means you have a sympathy.
That means you are not sure. It's not sympathy.
You have sympathy for him.
Is that your interpretation?
A man has failed up to this level, and you are still putting maybe.
Maybe he's working on the ground.
There is no underground. How long did it take Donald Trump to strike Nigeria? Did it take 20 years?
Okay, Donald Trump woke up in the morning and struck Nigeria. He didn't plan it.
How long did it take you? How long?
How will I know? No, answer yourself.
From the time he declared Nigeria as a country of particular concern, to the time he entered Nigeria, what's the gap?
Did he give a date?
Sorry?
Did he give a date?
Look, he doesn't need to give you a date.
No, because he was working on the ground.
How long? The thing is timeline. No, hold on. I said timeline. APC have been in government for how many years now? 11 years. Mr. Okoro, 11 good years.
Tinubu was not in government then.
You have started again. I've told you that you love this man.
He's my president. Shouldn't I love him?
You like cutting a flag.
I'm just asking questions. He's my president.
This is your question. It doesn't add up. You like.
You have moved from maybe now. You had a problem with maybe.
You like cutting flag for Tinubu, even with his failure. You are still dropping kind words for him.
Which one is kind word? I said maybe.
Well, leave maybe alone.
And I asked you, is he doing enough?
When something is doing enough,
at least has admitted that Nigeria is unstable. And I asked you, is he doing enough?
I said no.
You said no. Did I tell you that he's doing enough?
Well, no. You said maybe he's acting on. He's planning on that.
And I said. Maybe he's working on that ground. Is he not intelligent?
But meanwhile, you know that he's not working.
No, I don't know. He's in your place to tell us.
You know that he's not working either on the surface.
I don't have a position.
You know that he's not working either on the surface or underground.
No, he could, because I don't have the information.
I ask you here, has he made any statement concerning the terrorism?
So what did I say?
No, that's what I had to know that, yeah, this man is doing something.
Okay. So you expect me to answer that question?
Don't answer it.
No, I don't. I ask the question.
No, you don't. You are not in this country. Don't answer it.
No, I don't. I can go out. When we go out, I can answer you.
Are you serious?
I cannot answer you. Yes.
Say that yes, you have not seen.
I am the anchor on this show.
Tell the whole world that you have not seen. You have not seen.
No, you don't teach me my job.
I am telling you now.
No, you don't tell me. You don't teach me my job.
You have not seen.
No, I won't tell you that. I'm doing my job and you don't teach me my job.
Look, I am not teaching you your job.
No, that's
I am telling you what is on ground.
What is on ground? No, tell us what is on ground. Our viewers are listening. So you don't ask me questions.
I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. I am telling you
but
what is on ground.
But you're asking me questions. Have I seen?
Have you seen? Yeah.
So should I answer you? I won't answer you. Because it's my place to ask you questions.
Hold on.
Now,
why not say you have not seen? Because
the president said his international trips are yielding fruits because of all this security cooperation.
Where is the fruit? Is it orange or banana?
Okay.
Where is the fruit? With the fruit is yielding. Have you eaten some of those fruits? Every time fruit. Which fruit? Is it apple or banana or orange? Which one did he bring back? Yielding fruit. And people like you will buy it. Meanwhile, we are not seeing any fruit.
But Mr. Agommo,
mention the fruit.
You give me the impression that you are general studies English. Did you pass that course? Because you come across as someone who doesn't understand elementary English. Let's have your concluding thoughts.
Okay, you have added insult. You have added insult.
No, because you deserve it. You are the one that you deserve it.
I ask you here. Look, that metaphor about fruit. I want you to define it.
Let's have your concluding thought, Mr. Agommo.
Are you sure we are going to conclude this matter?
We
with
have
what
to,
you have done now.
Out of time.
You are telling me that I don't know English, Abi?
Exactly.
Because you want to support Tinubu.
Yes.
You are in trouble.
He's my president. You are the one that is in trouble.
You are in trouble. This matter will not end here today.
Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and this is where we have to.
You know, we are out of time, and you are telling me.
Conversation. We've been speaking with Mr. Darlington Agommo, lawyer and political affairs analyst. Thank you, Mr. Agommo, and I hope we can do this some other time.
My pleasure.
Now, on behalf, it's your pleasure. I like to hear that it's your pleasure. Now, on behalf of the backroom staff, technical director, the bus manager, the sound engineer, and the ingest manager, I am Chukwuma Okoro. Up next is Issues with Nana and Ndemdu. So I'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock on the morning show. Meanwhile, Political Lens, come your way tomorrow, 6 p.m. Please do keep a day with us. Bye for now and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the Locker Room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to the talk, please discuss.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
we encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arararara, my name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Africa's drive toward deeper integration in trade, talent, and culture took center stage in Lagos as stakeholders converged for a press conference ahead of AfterFest. Africa connected through trade, talent, and culture, and this is scheduled to hold in Abuja this March. The lawmaker, Desmond Elliott, welcomed guests and underscored the importance of the festival as a platform for promoting African culture and strengthening continental identity.
This is now a broader means by which you can connect with other African brothers and sisters, in sharing ideas, innovation, creativity, and all whatnot. So this is a platform that is being birthed to us to utilize and to help for the growth and the better economic improvement of Africa and us individually, individual countries, individual selves. It's basically, it's far-reaching. So to everyone coming from different perspectives and different reasons, you can get answers to. In a nutshell, that's what you call it. But it's creating that platform. So as you know, this is the press conference intimating people of what is to come in March. So basically connecting through 54 African countries, bringing them under one roof, having your own idea being shared and accepted from other parts of the continent, I think is mind-blowing and fantastic.
Project's lead, engineer Mandy, presented the vision of AfterFest as an Africa for Africa initiative designed to solve ecosystem challenges by connecting business, innovation, talent, and culture.
We have decided to do Africa for Africans. It's about time that we come together. It doesn't matter wherever you are in your career or whoever you are, wherever your business is. It's time for us to come together, identify the existing problems, identify the existing bottlenecks, the things that are preventing us from scaling up, talk about them, and then we find sustainable solutions for these problems so we can scale. And that's the only way we can build Africa. It's a collaborative approach. It's not a competitive approach, because it is a platform which is an ecosystem build where each and every one of us come with our different and unique skills, put them together and build a structurized project in it that empowers each and every one and each and every businesses. That is the only way Africa can strive sustainably.
Another keynote speaker, a young Eno, a sports legend, highlighted the need for transition, innovation, unity, and excellence, describing the festival as a step towards building legacy and empowering Africans to shape their own future.
We also want to be able to push the narrative that Africa has a lot of talents that are not valued as they are supposed to be valued. There are young sports talents that are bought from South America, they are bought from other parts in Europe. But if you look at some of the big clubs in Europe, it's African players that are doing most of the work. So through these, we want to have platforms where we talk about how can we change the value of African sports people so that we can begin to compete in the market based on what the statistics shows. The statistics shows that a lot of Premier League clubs will not do well without African teams in Spanish league and in other leagues. And again, so you could see that with the AFCON that just concluded. You see the value that African players bring. So we want to discuss that and see how we change the value. When we change the value for African players, we want to make sure that when African players, they make a move, a lot of that resources comes back to the local area where they came from to develop it, create small football stadiums, give scholarship, build infrastructure. So we want to put that in some very organized plan. And that's one of the reasons I'm very passionate about the whole football sector part of it.
Organizers say AfterFest aims to mobilize young people, support entrepreneurs, spotlight African excellence, and position the continent as one integrated market. Africa's future is being shaped by ideas, innovation, and collaboration. AfterFest is not just a festival, it is a meeting point for trade, talent, and culture across continents. As March 2026 comes closer, expectations are high to open new doors of opportunities for millions across Africa. From Lagos, I am Praise Peters, reporting for Voice of the People Television.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs the voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers,
exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Mama Kore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you. My name is
Music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not a spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe.
Hello Nigeria, it's another exciting episode of the Issues and Voice of the People Television, and we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Nenna Ndomdiocho. Want to apologize for starting a little bit late. Today on the Issues, we're examining the complexities of Nigeria's politics and governance, from Iran crisis pushing fuel prices higher in many parts of Nigeria, to Kwankwaso Obi Dixon's meeting sparking political speculation. Also, APC governors call for tech-driven security strategy. Finally, Tinubu's foreign trips yield zero benefit for Nigerians, and that is by Chatham House expert. Join us as we break down the fact and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dig deeper into these topics. Don't go away. Glad to have you back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. The Iran crisis is still ongoing and does not seem to be abating. Nigerians are feeling the brunt, with petrol prices now selling at the rate of 1,330 naira per litre in Lagos and 1,370 naira per litre in Abuja. This has raised concerns about inflation, cost of living, and economic stability, especially with the International Energy Agency warning that no country will be immune from the effects of the ongoing global energy crisis as volatility continues to impact fuel markets worldwide. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has postponed planned strikes on Iranian power facilities following what he described as very good peace talks. He disclosed that he had instructed the Department of War to postpone the intended strike for a 5-day period. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two distinguished guests. Here in the studio, we have Dr. Peter Anosike. He's a philosopher, a development economist, and best-selling author. He's also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. He's also the author of the most talked about book titled Abuse of Power, How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. Glad to have you join us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Also, we have in the studio, we have Mayor John Eshefu. He is a human rights activist and a political commentator. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, let me start with you, Mayor. I'm sure you've been buying fuel, and petrol prices have risen and is still rising. And the International Energy Agency is saying that no country will be immune. What does this mean for us in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. This has reviewed the criminality in Nigerian oil and Gas Ministry and Industry. War is going on in Iraq, Iran, and in Nigeria. Even in Iraq, Iran, that war is going on. Fuel price did not increase. Now in Nigeria, fuel price is increasing. 1,300 and something naira. Before next 1 week, it will get to 1,500 or even 2,000. It shows the criminality in our oil and gas industry. It shows that Nigeria, there is an oil producing country. You know, it looks, I don't know the best adjective to qualify it. It's terrible. Nigeria, which is an oil producing country, is being suffered. Nigerians are being suffered because there is war going on in Iran. Not be juju be that. APC government have failed. You see, look at the kind of policy Nigerians are receiving from APC. The type of hardship that these people are meeting in Nigeria is too bad. I don't see any reason why. War is going on in Iran, and fuel prices. Iran war is affecting fuel prices in Nigeria. Some stupid journalists, and they will tell you nonsense because they are supporting the APC. But I have to say this: let the whole Nigeria know about it. That posterity will judge them. The level of decay in Ministry of Petroleum is not here. Even in Hellfire, the kind of corruption that is going on in Ministry of Petroleum cannot go on in Hellfire. It's quite appalling. Very, very appalling. And APC-led government by President Tinubu don't have any solution to this problem. Fuel will keep going higher. Even after the war in Iran, the fuel will still keep going higher. Because the problem we are facing in Nigeria is not because of there is no fuel. It's not because of the importation price, but because of the corruption within the leadership of the APC-led federal government. They want Nigerians to suffer for their own personal benefits. And it's too bad. It's too bad. And it's too bad. And I'm also calling on Nigerians. They should put a stop to this in 2027. We cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. It's only a madman. Even a madman cannot do such. So it's too bad. It's too bad. Let the Almighty touch their heart to know that Nigerians are suffering.
Okay, let me come to Danosike. Danosike, he already mentioned that Nigerians are suffering, and we can't take that fact away that really Nigerians are suffering. But for 3 weeks now, it looks like our government hasn't seemed to, reel out any specific measures to help cushion the effect of this on Nigerians. Some countries have actually, put in some different measures. We've seen the UK come in to say, even while the president was in the UK, we saw the prime minister actually come out to put out some measures. But some persons would have said that maybe when the president comes back to Nigeria, he would actually, toast the same line. But it's been 2 days or 3 days since he got back, and we've not heard anything. Even before he traveled, nothing was heard from our president or our administration, except the CNG conversion. That's I think it's 1,000 or 100,000 CNG conversion kits that have been said to, be available for people to come and take off from or use. But aside from, what do you make of all of this?
Well, you said that the Prime Minister of UK put up some measures, but you cannot give what you don't have. Nigeria president has no measures, so he has nothing to give. That's one. Among the OPEC countries, understand, that's Organization of Petroleum Producing Countries, it is only Nigeria that has experienced increase in petroleum products. Because one, those countries have a reserve, which we don't have. Understand? Donald Trump has called for the release of about 400 million liters of fuel from their reserve to cushion the effects of what is happening in Middle East. It happened because their government is proactive. They are thinking of the future. But your own government is thinking of now. There's no reserve.
And assuming that we still have our crude oil now, what is happening in Iran will not have affected us. But Buhari sold our crude oil in credit till 2030. Understand? So the nature that is coming is being used to pay the debt. Dangote is not having enough crude. He is still importing at the international price. And if he imports at the international price, he has to sell at the same international price too. So that's why this problem is affecting us. Because ordinarily, this is supposed to be oil boom in Nigeria, that crude oil is going high and we have a crude oil in our soil. So we are supposed to having surplus money as we speak. But because the crude was sold on credit, the corruption in the downstream sector, that's why we are like the other countries that don't even have oil. And I have called on this program that this is time for government to bring back subsidy. That is to cushion the effect of this oil, because 135, 1,300, 1,400 is unbearable for most Nigerians. Cost of transport is going higher and higher. Cost of food is going higher and higher. This is the time for government to introduce measures to cushion this effect. But like I said before, you cannot give what you don't have. This government has no answer to anything. It is just a policy somersault. They will say this in the morning, say a different thing in the afternoon. The 1,000 CNG, have you heard it since then? For more than 10 days now, we've not heard anything that's of the CNG. And imagine 1,000 CNG for a country of more than 200 million people. That 1,000 CNG is not even enough for a local government in Lagos State. So this shows you that Nigeria is going back every day by day.
Let's look at the conflict itself. Do you attribute what is happening? We've seen Iranians, come out to attack major cities around them, countries around them. And people would actually say that Iranians have shown resilience that people didn't really expect from them. Would you say that the U.S. underrated Iran?
It is foolhardiness.
Okay.
It is foolhardiness. And what they are doing is called mad dog theory. Understand? Just inflict injury on everybody around you as a way of putting pressure on the United States. Understand? So that UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and other countries who will be telling America, stop this war, stop this war. But Donald Trump is not somebody that you can control very easily. He has made up his mind. Understand? And the Israeli Prime Minister has a lot of influence on him. So they're not going that to stop until Iranian military capabilities are reduced to the barest minimum.
But do you see that happening? Anyways, before I come back to you, let me hear your takes on this particular issue. Do you align with him that this what Iranians or what Iran is doing is just foolhardy? Do you think that U.S. underrated Iran in this particular conflict?
Oh, I'm 100% aligned with him.
Okay.
He just gave out the masterpiece of what is going on between Iran and the U.S. and Israel. Israel will make sure that they take out the whole of those targets that they need to take out from Iran military before the war will stop. So what Iran is doing, this thing they are doing will not help them. What will help them is remove every atom of trace that proves them to be sponsoring terrorism in the world. That is the only what Israel is looking out to see. If they refuse to do it, Israel will continue in conjunction with America to make sure that their targets, they hit it before the end of the war. Because they have a limited time to end the war. And by that time, they must have been able to take out the ones, the threats that they want to reduce from Iran. And that will be the end of the war.
But while, we saw Donald Trump come out to give, would I call it a threat, that if Iranians don't open up, or if Iran doesn't open up the Strait of Hormuz in 48 hours, he's going to actually attack their power facilities and all of that. But that also will end today, at the end of today. But now we've seen Trump come out to put a temporary stop to this, and he's saying that there are ongoing talks. According to him, looking good peace talk going on. But do you actually think that this particular talk will become beneficial for all? Do you really see it?
If you understand Donald Trump very well, the type of politics he's play, he's very, very proactive, and he has plan A, plan B, and plan C. Before he will come out to say that there's something he's targeting from that his speech, and he have done what is targeted by making that speech. He have achieved it. Now he's coming to say, let us put a temporary stop to this and hear what they are offering and see who can resolve it amicably. So Donald Trump is Donald Trump is a very intelligent man. He's a man that when he comes to his office, every day he will bring national newspapers and begin to read what are they writing about him, so that he will know the next thing he will do. So he's a very calculative man. He knows what he's doing. He don't want to be hit too hard on them, so that the civilians will not be the ones to suffer it. There is this terrorist sponsors. There are these terrorists that is in Iran, and they are in government. That's the target of America and Israel. That's their target, and they are taking them out one by one, and they will achieve their target before they end the war.
Okay, Dr. Nasgi, I don't know if you want to chime into this particular question before we move on to our next conversation.
Iranians are negotiating, understand? They are negotiating, and Donald Trump is giving them chance, understand? Will you abide by this? I've given you 5 days, a grace of 5 days. If you don't agree, we continue with our bombing. And just like what Mayor said, what is saving Iran is innocent civilians.